Hello and welcome to Stir Crazy Art Class with Gerald Savine, lesson number 37. Today we're going to start doing a new painting, following on really from the previous lesson. There'll be trees and things involved in this painting, but also be looking at composition as well. Just a quick picture over here. This is the, shall we say, the original view that we should be working on. This is the Lake of Menteith up in Scotland, and the Trossachs, the Menteith Hills, and in the distance is Ben Lomond. That's obviously some miles away, but we're going to be doing a simplified version. Now this one, this I actually did live while we were actually on holiday up there. It's a place we go to quite often, but as you can see, it's not finished, but you can see the autumn colours. In fact, this is we always go up in November, and the colours up there are quite amazing. Now what I want to show you first of all is, and we won't be doing this one, but this is the same view. Try and aim to get this sort of quality of drawing before you start painting. And again, if you're drawing and not painting, again you start off like this and then you can gradually build up. But what we're going to be doing is a simplified version. We again, talking about composition, we're using the trees here to hold in the painting. And can you see how we've just gently curved round here as well? So again, it's just bringing your eye in towards the mountain. And again here, we will be making these stronger colours. And again, colour is important in. Again, here you can see how much detail there is. Again, when we were talking about the trees, you can see the leaves here being dabbed on individually, as opposed to further back. The colours being all dabbed on for a whole tree, and in the further distance it gets even less and less detail, as well as being lighter. We will be changing the colours in this, so you'll need to pay attention to that. But use this as your guide. Okay, so to start off with, we're going to lay the picture out. So I'll just grab my pencil. Now, so again, working on the structure of the composition, we're going to put in, we've got the line of the far side of the lake. Now, in fact, what we've got is we've got a headland here. The lake goes round the back. There's an island here, which is a place called Inchmahome. It's got some history to it. Then there's a far side of the lake over there. Very little difference because they are away from us. But what we're going to do is I'm going to try and see if I can do this. It's not. I know you're going to have to excuse me a little bit. I'm going to have to pull the colour, the pad round a bit. Now I'm doing this lightly now. It's probably a bit too much. So I'm going to, excuse me. I'm going to have to turn this sideways a bit. I do apologise to the person who's doing or to my dear Janice, who's doing the photography. So that's going to be the foreground. This is going to be the first bit of land. Then there's the island coming across, and then over there going at that angle. Again, that's leading you in to the picture. Right, okay, now I'm going to strengthen these up now. Again here, so that's the land, and then that's the island, and then we've got the land the other side. And then again, I'm just going to draw this heavily here. This is where the grass is in the foreground. If anybody's been up to this part of the world, you know how beautiful it is up there, even in the autumn time. Now what I'm going to do here is position the tree trunks. Again here I'm going to lightly to start off with, just so we can get it in position and get the size right. Be careful not to get it too fat. And if you see, and I'll go back and draw into this now. Now I'm going to draw in here. Got the limbs coming round, bit of a knobbly bit there. Again, you're going to have to excuse me what I've done here, because I'm having to do this quite quickly. You've got time to study the original painting that you can see there, to get the line, get the composition right. Again here, a bit of a knobbly piece there. So the tree trunks themselves are really interesting. Again, down here, can you see how the roots have come through from here? So again, that's coming through on the grass. And then we have this going up to there. And again, that's following through that way. We're going to get the thin branches. And again here, I'm just going to can you see how those will arch over to bring our eye towards the mountain in the background? Again, what I shall be doing, I should be making a stronger view of the mountain itself, make more of it than there is here in this picture you can see. But again, I'll leave that up to you to do. There's bits of twiggy branchy pieces hanging down here as well. So you've got that one that side, you've then got one over this side, and again here I'm coming down, a bit of a knobble here, coming through there. Again we've got where the trunk splits, and again I can hope you can pick up from here how the trunk has gone and split there, so you have the character coming through. So again, if you download the lesson, then you've got time to have a look at the original, and you'll see just where I haven't got things right, but then you'll have more time than I've got. And again here we got where the roots are splitting. I'll have to rub these out before we start painting. I'm going to come over here now. We've got the roots again here. There's a bit more interest in these roots. Bit of a strainy old, amazing bit of, if you're into fishing, it's a wonderful trout fishing lake. They stock it every year with trout. Now I've got the foreground basically done. We're now going to bring in the lining for the trees. Again here we've got the trees going up and down, coming down to the end of there. We've got a secondary, we've got the other trees in the background here. These are more like fir trees, as opposed to the sort of beech trees with their lovely colours. Again, if you know this part of the world, or you know just how nice it all is. Now we've got the beech trees on the island, and again then we've got the fir type trees over there. And you'll notice that there's a lot more, because this area here is more countrified. This is going away. We've got the beech trees here. We've got the landscape coming up here. We've got the start of the Menteith Hills coming through here. Again, we have various hills going there with trees in, bordering the fields that are up there. Then we've got some low-lying hills through the back, but again we've gone a bit purpley there because we're into the distance more. Again, I think when we come to it, we won't be quite so purple. But it does, there's all the ups and downs. This is, again, a rather beautiful area. And then we get the Menteith Hills. Now again here I've taken a bit of an artistic license. The Menteith Hills are rather unusual because they seem to come into three bumps or lumps. If you know the area, there's a place called Aberfoyle, and not very far away from here is Callander, where they used to do the Dr. Finlay's casebook. remember back that far if you're old enough. So then we got that done, and then we come along here to the foothills of Ben Lomond. Again here, get some. Well, we've not been right the way up to the very top, but we have walked quite a long way up. I'm just going to lightly sketch this in for the moment, so I don't got a bit more control over what I'm doing. Right now, I'm going to go back in now, and again get that. Breaks away down there, down to the north of Loch Lomond, and I'll bring some. And I'm going to be a bit of artistic license here. I think I'm going to bring in another slope there of land. You have the top end of Loch Katrine through the back as well. So I'm just going to bring a bit more land up into there, a bit into there. So not quite how I wanted it to be. But then coming back here, you will also notice we've got the reflections in here of the trees. We'll worry about that when we come to paint the water. But then you need to put in more of the twigs and branches that are here. Coming out of the tree trunks. Give some thickness to them. What we do is, and you'll see when we come to paint, is we'll actually paint the branches, the thin branches first, before we worry about putting leaves on. But what we're doing here is to try and use the branches and the leaves to frame the mountain in the background, because again at the end of the day that's the sort of attraction, as it were. Again, you've noticed I haven't sort of tried to paint any leaves at all. We'll just dab those in when we come to do the painting. Now hopefully you're somewhere along that line. Excuse me a moment, I'm just going to see if I can find my rubber, get rid of some of these lines we don't need. Watching the time, we've only got a little bit more time left. Again, as we have had done before, this is probably going to take over at least another 2 sessions. But again, this hopefully will give. I'm just going to do a bit of amendments and get things a bit all right. There's a disadvantage of working the way I'm working. It's not always quite so easy to do things because it's understandably the person is. I say the person, but Janice is doing the filming. She needs to be able to see what I'm doing, and so things aren't quite as good as I would like them to be. But again, coming back to what I said at the beginning when I showed you the other drawing which had more trees in, be more definite, be careful with your drawing, do a better drawing than we've got here, but at least it's given you a guide. And again, just take your time to look at that, and you can adjust it. I've made some adjustments. Okay, so that'll be all right for now. Okay, so look forward to seeing you again.